Somebody recently asked on one of the groups that I'm in, Facebook or Bent Rider or somewhere, I don't know, part of a bunch of groups, if a Velomobile would fit inside of a Toyota Sienna van. And obviously it does. There's also a Trike sitting in here today. Unfolded Vortex 2, which if you are not familiar with the ICE Vortex 2, that is the predecessor to the Sprint X. So the ELB's Trike is in here and it's not folded. And I have a DFXL Velomobile in the van as well. Both fit just fine. There's no issues, and I have actually a little bit of extra luggage room on this side of where the DF sits. So we're gonna just head over to Dory Park, and the ELB has agreed to be my cameraman for the day. It just makes it easier because, as you know, I have crashed a drone, and you can see that video. I'll post a link to that. I crashed a drone trying to ride the old eyeball and fly the drone at the same time. And if you know anything about flying drones, not all of the autonomous flight and collision avoidance works very well on all drones.
And there's still room for the Trike.
Unfolded.
And that's it. That's how easy it is to get into the DF. Pretty easy. Yeah, good to go. It's just going to be easy riding. That's it. Just going to use the GoPro inside the Velo to get some footage so you can see what it's like inside, because this Velomobile is quite a bit smaller than the Quest. So I'll be using the GoPro to do that footage, and then we'll see which footage comes out better.
So fun. How fast
Yeah.
does it go?
It goes pretty quick.
I was gonna say I hear him whipping around.
Yeah, the aerodynamics makes a big difference.
Oh, I bet.
So, yeah.
It's like a little bullet.
Yeah, exactly. And he has one currently that's bigger, and he's swapping out to this one. So we're just doing,
Yeah.
you know, experimental riding, right?
How's the turn radius on that thing?
Like a bus.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I love it. Is there a horn in there too? Oh, that is so fun. I love that. You guys have so much fun.
Oh! So close.
So I figured out how to do the micro adjustment on the fly on the Archer system. You got to push this little button on the top and hold it down, and then make your adjustments until the rear derailleur is not making any noise anymore, and then just wait like I don't know, it was probably 5 seconds or so, then the light stops flashing, and then it shifts normally again. So I'm gonna go through and fix a couple more gears that are messed up. The derailleur is just a little bit off, and so I'm gonna adjust those a little bit, but I had to pedal the whole time I'm doing it to make those adjustments. But I finally figured out how to adjust the Archer on the fly. One of the things that I was just talking with the ELB about was the shifter. And as you know, the Archer shifter system has a remote motor to shift, and it's way down here. And one of the things that I did when I took off and I started riding is I forgot to turn it on. So when I forgot to turn it on, then I had to reach down and mess with that. So one of the things that I might do is actually take the shifter cable that's on there and take it off and get me a longer shifter cable, so then I can mount the Archer up here on the fender well, or up here where I can see it, so I can tell if it's on or off, because it's just a remote motor that changes that pulls the cable for the shifter. And if I can see, you know, if it's mounted up here where I can see it instead of up under the seat or hidden away somewhere, it makes it a lot easier to use. So on a Velomobile or even on a Trike, something like that would work great, you know, because then you could put the shifter right up where you could see it. It doesn't have to be hidden back by the shifter. So, note to self, I might have to change the cable. So that wasn't so bad. I got all the gears adjusted pretty easily, actually. So one thing I noticed about the DF over the Quest, even though this particular DF has a lot of sound dampening, you can really hear the freewheel much louder on this Velomobile than in my Quest. And I guess just because it's a different kind, could be that there's a lot more carbon in this one. It's got a carbon fiber arm and all that, whereas the Quest has the aluminum arm. So that may make some differences, but this one's starting to feel a little more comfortable now. I think I'm going to like it. So I'm still not quite sure that the seat is in just the right position. It's still, I can't tell if it needs to go up or if it needs to go back, or if I need to bring the pedals back or what. Just ever so slightly. I also notice when there's when my foot is in a certain position, I do get a little bit of heel drag on the shell. Just a little bit, and it's mostly when I'm relaxing. If I was just outright pedaling, I don't know if it would still be there, but at least it's not rubbing on the top, so the toes aren't rubbing, it's just the heels are rubbing. And so we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna go out on the trail just a little bit here.
Yeah, didn't quite make it.
As you notice back there on that turn coming out of Dory Park to get out on the Capitol Trail, I did have the one tire, the right tire, go off the trail ever so slightly. So that tells me that the DF actually has a smaller turning radius than the Quest, because in my Quest I would go at least halfway with the Velo or more off the trail, making that same turn there. So it looks like the DF has just a little bit tighter turning radius. So that's good. Hey, I have air conditioning.
I don't.
I just turn on, there's a fan. Bob has a fan that he mounted inside here. It's a little computer fan, and we got batteries for that, and I just turned it on, and actually produces a nice little bit of cooling air inside the Velo even when I'm not moving. I have to say, guys, on filming days doing this where I'm starting and stopping a lot in the Velo, having one of these little fans, can you see that? Having one of those little fans inside the Velo makes a huge difference. Wow, I should have installed one of these in my Quest. I never thought about it, but yeah, what a nice little deal. And the way Bob has it set up, it's got a little meter here that tells me how many volts are left in the battery. I've got a battery pack there. I've got all the different switches here. So this one is the GPS, this one is the fan, and this one here is a light to help see in there. Very nice setup. So this might be something you guys want to consider doing in your Velomobiles as well. This has made the ride very enjoyable when you're having to sit still. Really nice. Now the Nacaduct here, this thing provides a lot of cooling air inside here, so I don't usually use the fan, or at least I haven't the last few times I've ridden it. So very nice setup.
But when we stop in the sunshine to talk to the camera,
yeah, it's gonna be nice to have. It'll be nice to have that on, even though we're only in the 70s right now. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's not too hot. But of course, stopped and sitting in the sun, it gets warm. I'm trying the DF race cap for the first time, and it fits a little differently than a Quest, and so I'm trying to get it set up to where it sits right and get it all fitted with the little clips and stuff. Now it has this little piece of Velcro on the windscreen here. I'm not sure exactly what that's for, and it's just zip tied on, so there's a little dot right in the middle of your vision, so I'm not sure why that's there. Maybe for storage or something, I'm not sure. So that may or may not have to come off. It depends on how much I use this little hood here. We'll see what it's like. Yeah, I've got plenty of room here, so it looks like that even if I wanted to wear a helmet, I could wear a helmet, or I could raise the seat up just a little bit. Obviously without the windscreen or anything, I notice a big difference with the wind right off. So yeah, that cuts down quite a bit on the wind, but I'll have to get some speed up to see what it really feels like with this top on. It's obviously quite a bit more sturdy than a Velomobiles roof because it's got metal rods and it's carbon fiber, so it's quite a bit more sturdy. So we'll see how it rides with this on there. So this one is a little bit different. It's got carbon fiber feet here that just kind of sit over the edge of the lip here, and then they're bungee corded in the back. So it's quite a bit different than having a Velomobiles roof, where a Velomobiles roof is very flexible. This has obviously got metal poles and a carbon fiber top. Looks like I have plenty of room that if I needed to wear a helmet, I could wear a helmet, or I could move the seat up if I needed to do that as well. And I still have plenty of room in here. Which is part of the reason that that I did the modification on my Velomobiile. I was really kind of surprised about this little dual windshield here, which actually gives you a little bit of air coming right in, but not too much. Also would give you good vision on a rainy day or something, because there's no window there. So it's at this point that we're also getting some footage for the Instagram.
It's kind of fun kite. You can't hear anything I'm saying. Especially with this little roof on. Makes a bit of an echo. You like it?
Yeah.
Gotta figure out the elbows.
Yeah, that's the only thing I gotta figure out is maybe I just have to get a smaller stomach.
Well, we can work on that too.
Yeah, I might have to put some padding or something out of my elbows. But if I keep the tiller up higher, it's not as bad.
Yeah, it might just take adjusting your riding.
Yeah, it might just be some of that. But I think overall, I like the bike. So that's it. It's a little different. The nice thing about the Velomobiile roof is I could just take it and lean it forward like this. Whereas this one, I'm going to want to be more careful so I don't scratch the Velo body. But I mean, it's really not that big a deal. If you have this out and you're running it, you know, I could always just set it off to the side as well, and it's not going to hurt anything. And then I don't have to worry about scratching the top of the Velo. Unlike a Velomobiile roof, I can't fold that one up and put it in the Velo to store it with me as I'm going somewhere. So there are advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, there's advantages to both. So it just depends on what you want to do. All right, so that's all for today's ride. Not very many miles, but I think that I'm starting to get the DF dialed in just a little bit. Still got to work on padding for my elbows on the inside and just making everything, get it tweaked. Maybe move the seat just a little bit more. Still haven't decided about that yet. And even though it was a short ride
in distance, not in time,
of 5 miles, yeah, we still spent a couple of hours out there filming and doing all this stuff. But even though it was a short ride, as far as mileage goes, we still had to stop.
even though we're in a car.
Yeah. But that's it for now. So until next time, cheers.